Okay, so Hill wrote something really, really, really powerful here, and I want to preface this with this because it's so, so amazing. He says, remember that when your plans fail, temporary defeat is not permanent failure. It may only mean that your plans have not been sound. Build other plans, start all over again. Guys, this is huge. Let's go over to the computer. Let's talk about defeat secrets. So, so, so important. So here's the deal. Thomas Edison, okay, failed, 10,000 times before he created the light bulb, right? He had temporary defeat 10,000 times so he can make the light bulb. And then his efforts were crowned with massive, massive, massive success. All right? The thing with defeat, you gotta have this mindset, is that it only means that certain knowledge, there is something wrong with your plan. So, what's that mean? Well, you gotta fix it and just keep going. Plan, fix, and go. Yeah, just keep doing it. Millions of people go through life in misery and poverty because they lack a sound plan with which to accumulate a fortune. That's why we just worked on creating a really, really, really powerful plan. So if you have a problem, go back to your mastermind and say, hey, look, the plan didn't work. What should we freaking do? Let's set up a new plan. You got to make that plan. That's why we created your secret formula. That's why we made your overarching long-term goal. Like literally, you're above 99% of the population to have that. That's insane. That's so powerful. That's crazy. That's amazing. Okay? So, let's see. Temporary defeat. You gotta get over it. You gotta crush it. Alright? Same thing, right? Henry Ford accumulated a fortune, not because of his superior mind, because he adopted and followed a plan. Followed a plan, which proved to be sound. 1,000 people could have pointed out what was wrong with him, had better education than him, lived in poverty, but they don't have the plan he had, right? They didn't have his way of creating cars through the assembly line. That was his plan, and that plan left him to have massive, massive, massive success even after initial troubles. He just decided, look, we're just going to keep going with it. We're going to keep pushing to create an amazing assembly line. And that's what he freaking did. It didn't work the first time. Just had to keep going, keep perfecting it. And then eventually, freaking crushed it. Amazing, amazing, amazing technology. Same thing with James Hill. Met with temporary defeat when he first tried to raise the capital to build a railroad from, the side. I'm going to do my little drawing of America. This is going to be really, really good, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. So we're going to go here, and then we're going to have like Texas. You guys know my skills with Texas. And then kind of like that, and then just kind of like that. All right, this guy, go around the lakes, and then I think, look at that. Look at that. That's so great. So he wanted to build the Transcontinental Railroad, right? I feel like there's more land over here, so just pretend that there's more land over here. This is more land over here. He was met with temporary defeat. It's really tough to get the cash flow to build like that. So that's kind of like a big project. So because of that, he was met with temporary defeat. But he kept going, he kept crushing, and he kept following his plan. All of a sudden, he found the necessary capital. He turned defeat into victory with new plans. Bam. So powerful. Same thing happens with Ford. Temporary defeat at the beginning of his career, but he gets so far. Just go to the top. All right, here's the thing. When people accumulate, we see people who've accumulated great fortunes, but we often recognize only their triumph, overlooking the temporary defeats that had surmounted them before arriving. Guys, this is so powerful. This is what the media does, right? You'll have people, and this is like their life work, okay? And here's like the beginning of their life, and then this is maybe like usually like their 40s, maybe their 50s, okay? It just depends on the time frame of your goals and then how those goals develop over time. And then this would be like media coverage, media attention. All right? It's not very sexy when you start with like your your plan, or maybe like your secret formula, right? Like nobody really cares about your goals except for you. But when you start to work on them, you start to have results, all of a sudden people start to take notice, people start to care. And then bam, right? This can be any age, right? But this is like your fulfillment, right? Fulfillment of your goals, right? Your goal fulfillment. So if you start to fulfill that goal, all of a sudden you get a ton more attention. And then there's this point right here where all of a sudden, right, you see this all over the place. Once you get to a level, people start to pay huge attention. They're like, wow, this guy's amazing. I can't believe he did all this awesome stuff. And then they see that last 5%, that last 10% of the efforts where you're reaping the rewards, where you're creating the results, right? You see this with sports stars. You see this with presidents, you see this all over the place in esports. Everywhere people, they have massive success at the top. YouTube, all these amazing platforms where you have this growth potential. People put in massive amounts, all their effort through here, right? And at the beginning, there's very little results. And then it's just this last 10% that yields this huge influx of results and a huge amount of attention, which only multiplies those results. And you only see that little last percentage point, that last amount. But you got to remember, you cannot accumulate a great fortune at this end area without experiencing temporary defeats, right? Along the way, you'll have defeats. All right, defeats, keep going. That keeps at the beginning, defeats. You got to overcome those defeats so that you can keep going, keep growing, and make it to the end point, make it to the growth point, and keep going, past that, to keep growing. So when defeat comes, it's a signal that your plans are not sound. You got to rebuild those plans and go again so you can create fulfill your goal, right? Convert it into your goal. If you give up before you get here, right? Maybe you had a defeat. I'll put this in red, burgundy. You had a defeat right here, and you freaking quit. If you quit right here, you're not going to get here. You're not going to have that massive success. A quitter never wins, and a winner never quits. Hill has this ginormous freaking text here because it's important. You got to remember this. He says to write it out, make it a huge part of whatever you do. All right, a quitter never wins, and a winner never quits. This is so important. The only way that you can lose is if you quit. Is if you keep being consistent and you keep overcoming defeats over and over. Provide so much value to the marketplace. There's just no choice for people to reward you because of what you're giving them, because of the output. So powerful. So when you're picking the members for your mastermind, make sure that they take it seriously. They do not take defeat seriously. They understand that defeat is part of the process, and to transmute desire into money, you really do have to focus on just going towards those goals, making it freaking happen, and going through any temporary hardships. So you can go and crush it, and you can overcome that defeat. You can make it happen. Because money itself is nothing but an inert matter. You can move, you can think, you can talk, you can hear. You can desire this future, you can desire this success, you can desire the riches, whatever it is that you want. And once you have that burning desire, you're going to be able to create the plans, make it happen, grow towards it, and crush it. So, so, so powerful. Gotta make sure you take it seriously and you do it. Awesome, awesome stuff, guys. Thanks so much. We got a ton of value from this. See you in the next module.